Growing up brown wasn't easy. I wasn't allowed to play under the sun for too long. When buying clothes, I was told to avoid bright colors. And whenever my relatives would get together, they would often compliment me as kalo kintu mishti, which roughly translates into, "You're okay for a dark-skinned girl." What a backhanded compliment. Is it even a compliment? Regardless, it seemed like my entire identity was based on just my skin color. It seemed like something was missing in me. No matter what I did, it was never enough. And from that very early age, I had a good grasp on the concept of beauty, which was you can't be good looking if you had dark skin. Which is silly because Bangladesh is mostly, well, brown. I surely wasn't the only brown person there. But hey, that is what discrimination and colorism is for. We discriminate against each other, against people of our own race and culture, on the basis of just our skin color, for no valid reason. As a child, I was being labeled not good enough, and that was just the worst. Society never allowed me to feel good about myself. And I'd be lying if I said it did not have any impact on me, but it did. It stayed with me for the longest time. And let me tell you, the adverts of fairness cream companies on TV did not help. These companies promised you the world if you were only a few shades lighter. These companies only reinforced all the wrong, revolting beliefs that I was indoctrinated with in the first place. Now, we can blame colonialism for this, but haven't we come a long way since then? And it's easy to argue that people from the West do it too. They want to look a few shades warmer. And to that I say yes, they do. But they actually equate warmer skin tones to being healthier. But with us, it goes much deeper than that. Not only do we want fair skin, but we want sharper noses and straight hair, characteristics of a Caucasian person and not that of a South Asian. And that is why my question is, why do we as a subcontinent disapprove of our own features so much? Why can't we accept ourselves just the way we are? Why can't we appreciate our beautiful brown skin? And honestly, why do we not appreciate melanin more? It's actually protecting us from the harmful radiations of the sun. We as dark-skinned people pretty much have a built-in natural sunscreen. Can you imagine how much money people would have to spend on sunscreen every year? But do you know how much we spend on fairness creams? The Hindu cited that the fairness cream company, the fairness cream market here, is a $4 million industry. And the adverts of these companies reaches even the most remote villages in Bangladesh, where it's always a small town girl with big aspirations but has no idea how to accomplish these dreams. One day she stumbles upon this pretentiously packaged fairness cream that miraculously changes her skin color, and all her dreams are accomplished, and all her problems gone, just like that. Let me give you a few examples. In one of the adverts, the protagonist wants to be a commentator. She's seen commentating a kids' cricket tournament in her neighborhood. One day, her mother gives her a fairness cream that supposedly made her lighter, which seems to have given her the confidence to go out and try her luck out at a national tournament. And in the other advert, this girl in her 20s clearly upset over the fact that she might have to face rejection of a marriage proposal just because she's dark-skinned. In comes the solution to her problem when her fair-skinned sister gives her a fairness cream, which visibly changes her skin color, and it all works out in the end. And in the last advert, they don't even try to be a little bit obscure. They just hand her the job when she becomes lighter. Do we not see what's wrong with these adverts? Are these companies really helping girls? Or are these companies making girls even more insecure? And last time I checked, you need actual qualifications for a job. You don't get it based on how you look. Now, if a girl is qualified for a specific job, she might second guess herself just because she's not the right color. And coming back to the effects of these adverts in rural areas where majority of the people are dark-skinned, with a few variations in shade is horrific, because these adverts are brainwashing these people into associating lighter skin to success. These lasting effects are manifesting itself into violence against women. Demand for their dowry are being doubled, or they might just have to face plain humiliation or even abuse just because they're dark-skinned. These multinational companies are capitalizing on the insecurities of millions of young women and these days even men. Companies like these intuitively know that the values that they're sharing today are wrong, but they continue to do it anyway. This capitalization is blatant social injustice and needs to be stopped. Since the public isn't aware of the fact that they're being exploited, it is our responsibility to help protect them and spread awareness of this issue. And the best part about all this mess is these products, they don't even work. And if they do, they come with significant health hazards. Two of the most prominent toxic elements in these products are parabens and hydroquinone. Parabens are readily available cheap preservatives that prolongs the shelf lives of these products. They are also known to mimic the hormone estrogen, which can cause a hormonal disruption in our bodies. These hormonal disruptions can lead to breast cancer in women by triggering excessive cell division and mutation due to immoderate levels of estrogen. Whereas hydroquinone, a bleaching agent used to treat hyperpigmentation, but all it does is make skin vulnerable over time. And ironically enough, can even darken skin if used in excessive amounts. I wish I could blame everything that is wrong within our society on these fairness cream companies, calling them the villain of my story and be done with it. But I can't, because the main problem is deep-seated within ourselves. It is we who let these enterprises exist for so long. It is only up to us. And the thing about beauty, it's just a social construct. The definition of beauty and our perception of it, it's constantly changing. And the beauty standard that we hold up in our society today is obviously very biased, because we've been raised to think that Eurocentric features are more desirable while disregarding our own. Countless generations have passed. Countless women have lived their lives without truly accepting or loving themselves. But it's high time that we rediscovered ourselves. It's high time that we saw ourselves with a fresh new perspective, with a fresh new pair of eyes, and bias detoxed from our system. Let's reject all irrational beauty standards and be unapologetically brown. And lastly, I just want to ask the entire South Asian community one more question, which is, when will we love ourselves? When will we start loving ourselves to stop this? Thank you.